We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation mantras. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. As we are studying Kathopanishad, we will chant the first line of Shankara Bhashyam. One of you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vaivasvataya
Vyavasataya
Mrutyave
Mrityave
Brahma Vidyacharya
Brahma Vidyacharyaya
Nachiketase
Nachiketase
Cha.
Cha.
So we are doing the salutations to both Vaivasvata, which is Yama, and Nachiketa. Both of them are Brahma Vidyacharyas. Now, where are we with respect to our studies? And that we have finished first chapter, first section of the first chapter. So the book is organized as 2 adhyayas. Adhyaya meaning a chapter, and within each chapter there are 3 vallis. Valli is the 3 chain of thoughts, or 3 streams of thoughts, or 3 sections. So the first section we have completed, where we studied the background of Nachiketa, what kind of a child he was, and how he came to Yamaloka and met Yamadharmaraja, and his 3 boons from Yama, and the third boon, Nachiketa asked that he wants Atma Vidya Jnana, and Yama tried to bribe or tempt Nachiketa with various other things, but Nachiketa stood fast, showing the inadequacies in all other options, in all other alternatives, because all of them are temporary in nature and this is only permanent one. So with that, the first chapter was complete. Now, in second chapter, this Brahma Vidya teaching will start. Now, when Brahma Vidya teaching starts, this knowledge requires some prerequisites. Now, we have seen that Nachiketa has got all of these prerequisites. But what about people like us? We may or may not have those prerequisites. So what is happening here is that in this chapter, the first half of the chapter at least, these prerequisites are talked about. Okay, so now the style of Upanishads is that whenever a hard and difficult subject has to be taught, a relatively simpler, not simple for us, okay, a relatively simpler building block is taught before. Okay. So sometimes and see, the thing is that even these building blocks are very useful. Okay, so it's not like they're useless stuff. Say, for example, in Upanishads, we say we have four Mahavakyas, right? Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, and in between Tattvamasi and I am Atma Brahma. Now, in fact, the meaning of all those four Mahavakyas is one and the same, that you are Brahman. Now, if these are Mahavakyas meaning like the most profound statements, what about the other ones, other statements in the Upanishads? Are they useless statements? No, they are called as Avantara Vakya. Avantara Vakya means those help you to get to the final statement. So, for example, let us say in mathematics, when we were young, we were asked to prove something. That could be something like, let us say, the what is it? A square plus B square equals C square or something like that. I'm unable to recall anything very particular, but
Pythagoras.
of Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so now when you want to prove Pythagoras theorem, what happens is that the final solution is only one line, but to get to that, you have to solve like you need to have a hypothesis and you need to build on that, and eventually you will come to the conclusion. So now all of those steps are important to come to this final step. So similarly, what we are learning, all of this is required to get to that final step. Now, so for example, in Mundaka Upanishad, a student goes to the teacher and says, please teach me the Atma Vidya. And when he asks that, the guru teaches everything about karma. Okay, how a yajna must be performed. It is said that within yajna, when you perform the havan, okay, yajna, there are like 7 types of fires, Kali, Karali, like that. Okay, and in those 7 types of fires, where exactly the ahuti has to be given, and all of that is told there. Now, the result of that is also told. Like, okay, then if you do all of this yajna properly, you'll go to heaven. And when you are set in heaven, I mean, like when your time expires in heaven, you'll come back. And there ends the chapter 2. But then the student says, that's great, thank you. But I'm not interested in not just the pleasure here, but the pleasure from heaven either. So teach me something more beyond this. And then the teacher starts explaining next. Now, why did he say all of this? Is because he is ensuring that the maturity of the student is growing better and better. In Chandogya Upanishad also, actually, like there is I can tell you a story. Is about the story about 2 students who go to Brahmaji. Brahmaji was also called as Prajapati. Now, he says in a sabha that self must be known because it is beyond age, beyond death, no hunger, no thirst, and everyone should learn this, know about self, and only one who runs after this and who wants to know, only they can learn. And once you know self, you don't need to worry about any worldly things or this what you call like either this pleasure or that pleasure, because in when you attain self, there's a Brahmananda. In the Brahmananda, all other Anandas are included. Now, when this announcement was made, how? So both the kings of Devatas and the Rakshasas. Devatas king was Indra, and Rakshasas king at that time was Virochana. It is said that Virochana was actually son of Prahlada, Bharta Prahlada. So they both go to Prajapati, that is Brahmaji, and ask him to teach. Now, why he asked these both students to stay in his ashram as brahmacharis for 32 years and do his seva. They accept and do that. Okay. So then what he says is that, look, children, or look, students, see in the eye there is a pupil. Okay. In this pupil, whatever is visible in the pupil of this eye, that is Atma. And that Atma alone is Brahman. So go take a look at what is visible in this pupil of the eye in a water. Let's say, go to a pond or something like that. So they both go to the pond and see. What do they see when they look? When they look at the pupil of themselves in a reflection, is they see their own self, their own physical body.
Mhm.
Now they come back and report to Brahmaji that, Brahmaji, we saw self is us. Okay. Actually, its image is like just like us, including hair, including nails. Okay. So then he says, okay, go take a look. This time, like, dress yourself very well and go take a look at. They dress themselves very well and go take a look at themselves in water, and says, come back and report that we saw ourselves, like, we are well dressed, everything like that. Then Brahmaji says, good. So this is the Atma. And this is Atma alone is Brahman. So, and he confirmed that. Now both Indra and Virochana. Now see here, Brahmaji was not wrong. Okay, the understanding of Indra and Virochana were wrong. Okay, so they both were very happy and they were satisfied and they left. Now, when they left, Virochana left to all his Rakshasas and said, I learned all about it. Okay, so what is that? We are Brahman. Okay, so this body is Brahman. So we must glorify our body with different types of jewelry, etc. And this is all it is. This is all there. So that's why they became Rakshasas. Why? Because they are focused on ensuring that their physical body is happy. Indra also went. But then he was thinking, there is something wrong in this understanding. See, my teacher asked, go take put all the clothes and everything and go and look in the mirror, not the mirror, in the pond, in the water. And I saw the reflection of my body, very beautiful and all of that, because he's Deva and he's also king of Devatas. So obviously he was very handsome and all of that is there. But if a blind man goes, he cannot see it. It shows a blind man. Okay. If that body is destroyed, then there's no reflection of a living body at all. And if the body is dead, how can it be a deathless Atma? I have a problem. I mean, there is a misunderstanding. There is some kind of a misunderstanding in my understanding. So he went back to Brahmaji and said, see, Brahmaji, like you told me, but there is some challenge with my understanding. So give me a little bit better understanding. He said, okay. stay here for 32 years more.
Hmm.
And then Indra stayed. So at the end of 32 years, again Brahmaji called, whatever moves in your dream, that is Atma. Whatever moves in my dream is Atma. Oh, nice. Okay, so Indra went back. What does it mean? That means that not just in waking state, even in dream state, you are there. Okay? So he started going, and then as he was going, he was thinking, how can me in my dream can be Atma? Now, there is no guarantee that in my dream, there's no guarantee that all my dreams are sweet dreams. Even if everyone around me tells me before I go to sleep, sweet dreams, right? I still get nightmares. Okay.
Hmm.
And so therefore, and Brahmaji said that this Atma is fearless. In my dream, I saw so many times I was scared. And so, and in my dream also I can die. So this cannot be that Atma. So there must be something more I'm missing. So then again he goes back to Brahmaji and asks him to please tell me the true nature of Atma. Now again Brahmaji says, okay, wait for 32 more years. Okay. Then again 32 years. Then Indra was called by Brahmaji and says, when someone is in Sushupti means deep state. When someone is deep sleep, that means what? He is happy. Why? See, among all the happinesses that you can think of, there is no such happiness as a deep sleep. No happiness in this world can beat the happiness in deep sleep. If you don't believe me, you can test it out. If you love money, let us say someone is giving you $1 million. Okay? Hopefully, like for all of you, $1 million is a large amount. If not 1 million, $10 million. But they tell you like you cannot sleep for 10 days. You had to say, I'm giving you $10 million for 10 days. No sleep. You may be sleepless for 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, 48 hours. But after that, I don't need anything. I don't care anything. I just need to sleep. Okay. So we go to sleep. Okay. So in that way, no matter what kind of happiness is there in external world, we need to go to sleep. And in the deep sleep, we feel extremely, I mean, like we are relieved of all the sorrows of the world. Okay? Even if there is a death in the family, when the person may be weeping all day about the misery and all of that, but when they go to deep sleep, then there is no pain or anything like that. So that is the self. So Indra again goes home happily. But then again he gets a question. Wait a minute. Self is knowledge. That's what Brahmaji said. Now in my deep sleep, I don't know myself. Okay. If I don't know myself, I am unconscious. What kind of Atma is that? How can the Atma can be conscious? How can the Atma is glowing and all of that? So he comes back to Brahmaji again. Now the Brahmaji is happy and asks him to spend some more time with him. When the period is over, Brahmaji calls and says, okay, let me tell you this. And then he says, this body is subject to death. Okay? Yet, in this body is that Atma which is beyond death. So that's what he said. Okay, in first time itself, that you can see Atma because the body is there because of the presence of Atma. This Atma, okay, cannot be touched by any kind of things in this prapancha, in this world. And now see that in your dream, what happened? So for me to move in this, like for this body to move around, I need air, I need external space and all of that. Light is needed, like I need external light, external air, external everything, right? Help is needed. Now in my dream, I don't need external light. Giving the sunlight in my dream? Me only. Who is giving the air for my dream self? Me only. Right? Who is giving the space? I'm not walking in the outside space, I'm walking within my dream. Okay, all of that is happening within me. So that means what? The consciousness is there. Okay, that consciousness is you. Okay, and yet you are beyond all of these senses. All of the senses is like karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, all of this. So whether they are there or not, you are resting. That is in the deep sleep state. Now, the thing is that this Atma is beyond these three states and it is illumining all these three states. So like that, he teaches the knowledge of Brahma, Atma Vidya. Then he goes back, this time getting the right knowledge in the right manner, and he shares with the other devatas. And they all get Atma Vidya. So this is story in Chandogya Upanishad. Okay. So here, what happened is that why they had given is that, see, like if you see, and why did I tell you this whole story is, two students were there. Okay. Now, when the initial answer was given, both of them understood similarly only. Okay. It is not that the teacher gave two different answers to two different people. Same answer was given. But at that time, their mind was not mature enough. So they took it incorrectly. But what happened is, one, Virochana, went home with incorrect knowledge and he never reflected on that knowledge. Whereas Indra started reflecting. So that is not just Shravana, Manana aspect also came. Important. Okay, so that Manana portion has come and he was, what was he doing for those 32 years, 32 years, 32 years? He was assimilating that. So Nididhyasana was also being done. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana was going on. As that is going on, what happened is that the first time when he asked the question versus second time versus the third time versus fourth time, he was becoming more and more mature. Okay. So now, similarly, it is the response. So what is happening is the responsibility of the Upanishad is to make us mature and as it goes through. Okay. So the first topic is going to be something called the knowledge of Shreyas and Preyas. Okay. So this is a topic that Yama is going to take. Okay, so this is the first topic that Yama is going to teach. Who's going to teach? Nachiketa. So these Shreyas and Preyas are two different paths. Okay. Two different paths. Now, if there are two different paths, that means that there should be two different bases. What is the basis? For Shreyas, Vidya, meaning knowledge is the basis. For Preyas, avidya, meaning ignorance is the basis. So that means Shreyas can be said as the path of vidya, knowledge, and Preyas can be said as path of ignorance. Now, this division of vidya and avidya is there within us also. Okay. So, for example, take our faculties. Okay? When you say faculties, our ability to see, eat, drink, okay, work, all of those. So what do we call our faculties in Sanskritam? Indriyas. Okay. And we categorize indriyas into three categories. Karmendriyas, meaning organs of action, such as hands, legs, the genital organs, and the speech, and the excretory organ. So that is Karmendriyas. Jnanendriyas, ability to see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. These are Jnanendriyas, the organs of perception. Then what else do we have? We have Antarendriyas. Antarendriyas are Manaha, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Mind, intellect, memories, and ego. Now, what happens is, among these three categories, Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, and Antarendriyas, the first Karmendriyas are based upon avidya, ignorance. And these two, the rest two, that is Jnanendriyas and Antarendriyas together are based on vidya. Say, for example, if I take this cup, when I took this cup, what happened? How did I take this cup? First, I had to see. Otherwise, I don't know if my hands are touching cup or something else. So, the eyes have seen the cup and asked the hand to execute. Go pick it up. And hand did it. Now, hand doesn't know. Okay. Hand doesn't know how to see. Okay. Now, let us say if this cup was very hot, extremely hot, I can't touch. Then what happened? As soon as hand goes and touches, and it says, "Poof." Why did it say? Did hand know or something else knew?
Yeah, it's the skin, the touch.
So again, a different, okay, a different
Sensory organ.
the Jnanendra came into play, which is touch, and it said, oh, it is hot. And then hand left. So perception, so these are based upon knowledge, and our perception and our understanding is based upon knowledge, and our execution is based on ignorance. So, for example, they say, just do it. Okay. What? Where do they say just do it? When you need to exercise, when you need to run or whatever, right? So where doing is prominent compared to perception. Okay. Now, similarly, even in the war, etc., right? The frontline armed forces, they are expected not to be thinkers. In fact, if someone is trying to enroll themselves in the army or the military, at least in India, if I recall, if you are a thinker or a philosopher, they don't prefer you. Okay. So, because they need someone to blindly follow the orders, right? So that is because their execution is more important. So these are the two paths that we are talking based upon. This division is there based on Vidya Marga and Avidya. So we said two names, Shreyas and Preyas. So what does they mean? Okay, so Atishayena Prashasyam iti Shreya. That is the definition for Shreyas. Meaning utmost. Atishayena means utmost. Prashasyam. Prashasyam is the best. Utmost best is called Shreyas. And the same Dhatupada that is used for the creating this word Shreya, the same Dhatupada is there in Shrestha also, and even Jeshtha also. So that's why, like, Jeshtha means what? The first one. Okay, again, like, the first is the best, like that. Okay, and then when it comes to Preyas, Preyan, Preyan means it comes from Priya. Priya means one who is enjoying. Now, what is this Preyan enjoying? One who is enjoying the immediate sense pleasures. So, one who has the enjoys immediate sense pleasures. Now, for example, you see, you go to a garden. In the garden, there is a path. Okay, so there's a square kind of a thing. Okay, there's a big, beautiful landscape, and with a lot of flowers, trees, etc. And around that, there's a path. Now, if you need to go from one end to other end, what happens? If you, I mean, like if it is not too dangerous, right? So if you go to like, public gardens, either in Boston or anywhere, right? You see that there are parents and children. The parents, what would they do? A responsible parent usually, they walk around the path, okay? Almost taking a circular route. What would kids do? They run across, okay? Now, the running across versus walking around. Why did the child run across? Because it is fun, because it is child. His child. His child means what? His thinking process is not mature enough like his parent. And why did he run? Because walking through this grass or running through this grass appeared to be shorter and appeared to be faster. That's the benefit. So that's why he ran. Now, what is the downside of it? It is detrimental to plants. If he's running, if we are walking on plants or whatever that is there, that is, if it is not in the path, right, then they are going to be destroyed. Now, it is detrimental for plants and it is also detrimental for the one who is walking too. So for example, there could be some bugs and those bugs may bite, ants may bite, or if there is like, some like poison ivy or something like that is there, again, and if they touch the skin, that's it. There are rashes for weeks to months, and it's a pain. But walking around the path may appear slower, but it is safer and it will take you to your destination safely. So these are the two paths we are talking, right? So the first path that we talked about where the grass is shorter, etc., that is Preyas. The other path is Shreyas because it is best. Okay. Now, I think this is enough as a intro before we start the first mantra from the second Valli of first Adhyaya. Before I start, do you have any questions? Okay. So, if there are no questions, let us take the very first mantra. So here, first I'll break down the words because they are like a little bit complex words. Anyat Shreya, Anyat Ut Eva. So together they become Anyat Shreyo Anyadudai. Anyat Shreyo Anyadudaiva. That is the first word. Preya, Te. So the Preya and Te together become Preyaste. Okay. So whenever we are chanting, so for example, if you're chanting Bhagavad Gita, what happens is that we can break down the words in whichever way, okay, and we can do that. But on the other hand, when we are uh, uh, chanting the Veda mantras, we are supposed to chant exactly the way it is there. So it is Preyaste. So that is we stop at prayer and Ste Ubhe Nanarthe. That is how we should chant. So, in fact, chanting it correctly is more important than chanting it in a musical tone or something like that. Say, for example, you see, actually, our Swami Shardanandaji told us that people have what is it, Gayatri mantra or these Mrutyunjay mantra, etc. They sang them in different tunes, etc. And then we play and we think, oh yeah, it is so nice to hear that they sang in a nice tune for 108 times, and we heard it for about 40 minutes. It's great, and we also started singing it. But they are not meant to be done like that, and it is. I mean, in his opinion, by my teacher, it is we are not supposed to do it and we should not do it. So we should not play those in the musical tone. We should only chant in the way it is supposed to be chanted. So that's why what we are going to do is that here we'll chant exactly the way it is there. Okay. So, but I'm going to break down the words just so you understand those words. Nana. So stay, ubhe, nanarthe, purusha, sinitaha. Tayoho, shreya, adadanasya, sadhu, bhavati, hiyate, hiyate ardhadya. So that is hiyate ardhat yaha. Okay, that is hiyate ardhadya. U Preyah vrunite. So that becomes Preyo vrunite. So this is the breakdown of the mantra. Yeah, so one of you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Other people please repeat after me without while you are on mute. Anyat shreyo anyadutaiva.
Anyashreyo anyadutaiva
Preya
preya
ste
te
ubhe
ubhe
nanarthe
nanarthe
purusha
purusha
sinitaha.
sinitaha
Tayoho
tayoho
Shreya
shreya
Adadanasya,
adadhanasya
Adadanasya.
adadhanasya
It is not dha, it is Adadanasya.
adadhanasya
Sadhu
sadhu
Bhavati
bhavati
Hiyate Ardhadya
hiyate ardhadhya
U
u
Preyo
preyo
Vrunite.
runite.
This is the first mantra. So here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says that Pariksha Shishyam Vidya Yogyatam Chavagam Yaha. So that is what happened is that the Yama has taken Pariksha of whom Shishyam. So Nachiketa is a Shishya, so he has taken the Pariksha, the testing of Vidya Yogyata. Is he eligible to learn Vidya? And after Chavagamyaha, so after ascertaining that he is eligible, then he started saying. So that means what? This mantra is uttered by Yam Dharmaraja. And Anyat Hrutageva Shreyaha Nishreyasam Tadha Anyat Utaiva Apicha Preyaha Priyataramapite te Shreyaha Preyasi Ubhe Nanardhe Bhinna Prayojane Sati Purusham Adhikrutam Varnashramadi Vishishtam Sinitaha Badnitaha. So here, what happened is that, see, he used two words Shreyaha and Nishreyasam. Shreyaha is good and Nishreyas is highest good. That is the only way we can say. It is not, it is much better than the best. So, for example, sometimes what is good for me is not good for you. For example, almonds give good strength, good protein, but some people are allergic to almonds. So it gives some kind of a benefit to some, but it cannot give benefit to others. Now, in a financial transaction, what happens? There is, if I am winning in a financial transaction, that means what? The other person is losing, right? And if I am losing, then that means that other person is winning. Say, think about stock market. In stock market, I purchased a stock for $50 and I sold it for $75. So I made $25. How did I make $25? That means somebody else lost 25. Okay. Or if I bought a stock for $100 and sold for $75, so that means that I lost $75. That means what? Somebody gained the $25. It's not like, just because the stock market stock has gone up, the company has made more money, or vice versa, right? The price of the stock in reality, has no bearing on the performance of the company. So, but here, what happened in this thing is that when it is, the point I'm trying to make is, sometimes what is Shreyas for me, it may not be Shreyas for you. So that is where the word Nishreyas was used. Anyat pruthageva Shreya Nishreyasa. Nishreyas is highest good, means that the action that we perform must be good for everybody, and there should not be anyone who is losing in this action. Okay? It has to be beneficial for everybody, everything. Okay, not just humans, but your environment also. Such an action is called as, such a thing is called as Nishreyas. In fact, in Arjuna, when he surrenders to Lord Shri Krishna in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, he uses this word, Nishreyasa bruhi tanme. Okay, so that's what he says. Meaning, I want to know what is absolutely right for me, Bhagwan. That's what he asks. And only when he asks like that, that is when Lord Krishna gives the entire Bhagavad Gita. Because he could have simply said, Arjuna, if Arjuna wanted an answer, he could have simply said, Arjuna, the right thing for you to do is fight this war and be an. But he was telling what is Nishreyas. And because it was a Nishreyas, I mean, this shloka probably came around shloka number 50 in 700, okay, around maybe 46 or 47, something like that, because it is about 6th or 7th verse in chapter 2. Then, so another 650 verses was because he used the word Nishreyas. Okay, so that is the highest good. So now what is happening is that what Yama is saying is, he's talking about this Shreyas and Nishreyas. Tadha anyatu taiva api. Not only that, he is also talking about Preyas, okay, which is different. Preyas is different. So what? Okay. The Shreya, Preyasi, Ubhe Nanarthe. They're different words. Bhinna Prayojane. They have different Prayojana. Prayojana means different destinations. Here, Prayojana means different. Prayojana means what is the benefit out of it. So that means what, like what you are going to achieve from each of them are going to be two different things. And it is based upon Varna, Ashrama, Adi, Vishishtam. Okay, so what is Shreyas in the. So these Shreyas and Preyas, they'll also be changing. Huh? Okay, so what is Shreyas in Brahmacharya? No, what is Shreyas in a Gruhastha is not Shreyas in Brahmacharya. For example, someone who is a Gruhastha he is living a family life. A Brahmachari should not be living a family life, leading a family life, or a sannyasi should not be leading a family life. So that Shreyas also is based upon this Varna, Ashrama, Dharmas, etc. And then these are Badnitaha. Badnitaha means they are going to bind. Okay. So this Sinita is also same meaning. But they are going to bind. What do you mean by they are going to bind? And he continues to say that what is that binding? Get to this point in a second. Tabhyam Vidya avidyabhyam atma kartavyataya prayujyate sarva purushaha. Now, this Shreyas and Preyas is such a things that they're based on Vidya and Avidya. I already told you, right? Knowledge and ignorance. And everybody is engaged in this Shreya Marga or Preya Marga when it comes to self. Preyaha, Shreyaha, sa arihi. So, Shreyaso arihi, Abhyudayamrutatvarthihi, Purusha pravartate. So, now that means what Preyas is going to do is, first, so there are two things, two type of people are there. One is seeking the Abhyudaya, okay, and other one is seeking Amruta, Amruta Tattva. Abhyudaya means what? My growth. My growth is what? My growth and with respect to my Vyavaharika Prapancha, the worldly prosperity. And Amrutatva is my moksha. So now one who is looking at my worldly prosperity, they are going towards Preyas, and the one who is looking at the moksha, they are going towards Shreyas. So that means what? We have 4 Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So Shreyas is going to lead you to Moksha. So in there, Dharma is already built in. Okay? Because you cannot be adharmic and gain Moksha. So Shreyas means because you cannot do adharma. So Shreyas will lead one towards Moksha. But where does the Preyas will lead? It will lead to Abhyudaya itself. Abhyudaya means what? My prosperity in the world. My prosperity in the world means what? I have a lot of desires, Kama. So I am trying to find a means to fulfill those desires, Artha. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So here, this Preyas is focusing on Artha and Kama. Shreyas is focusing on Dharma. No, sorry, on Moksha. So Dharma is inbuilt for Shreyas. What about this Artha, Kama in Preyas? Is Dharma there or not there? Some people may follow, some people may not follow Dharma when they are trying to fulfill their Kama desires. Yeah? There's no guarantee that someone will follow. So, because Shreyas is leading one to Moksha, it is called as Mukti. I mean, right? It is Mukti Sadhakam. Now, this Preyas, what is it leading to? Artha Kama. So it is called Bhukti Sadhakam. Bhukti means food. Okay, so one is leading to this and other is to leading. Okay, Ataha Shreyah, Preyah, Prayojana Kartavyataya Kabhyam Baddha Ityuchate Sarvaka Purushaha. Now, the thing is that here, the key thing that they're saying is both the Shreya and Preya, Shreyas and Preyas, they are binding people. For some people, you're binding to duties, and that is, if you're following Shreyas, you're bound to your duties. If you're following Preyas, you're bound to your desire fulfillment, but both are binding. That is an important key point here. Shreya Marga and Preyo Marga, they both are binding. Why? Because they are based upon Vidya and Avidya. So, Vidya and Avidya, they on their own, they both are part of Maya alone. Okay? Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya both are part of Maya alone. But that said, we have to, because we are made of Maya, as in our Jiva is made up of Maya, our Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, all of these are made up of Maya. What happens is that we should hold on to Vidya Maya so that we can get out of Maya. Okay? So, te यद्यपि एकैक पुरुषार्थ संबंधिनी विद्या अविद्या रूप त्वादि विरुद्धे इत्यन्यतरा परित्यागेन पुरुषेण सहानुष्ठातुमशक्यत्वातयोः इत्वा अविद्यारूपं प्रेयः श्रेयः एव केवलम् अददानस्य उपादानं कुर्वतः साधुशोकनं शिवं भवति. So, now because, see, the thing is that like what has been said, they're fulfilling different purusharthas. Okay? Because the Shreyas is fulfilling Ardhakama. Sorry, Preyas is fulfilling Ardhakama and Shreyas is fulfilling Moksha. And one is based upon Vidya, other is based upon Avidya. So as a result, they are different. And they are so you both cannot be practiced together by the same person. Okay. So for one who gives up the, I mean, like for us to do the good thing, we have to get rid of pleasant thing. For us to, if we want pleasure, we have to forget about good. Okay. Simple, right? You go to a wedding party, Indian wedding, okay? Because American wedding sometimes they have plated meals and you don't know what you are going to get, how much you are going to get. Everything is decided by them. Okay? But Indian party, buffet, lot of choices. Now, you're ready to eat. You have two choices. I want to enjoy the food or I want to eat healthy. So, now the thing is that, I mean, you can argue that there can be some healthy food that can be enjoyed, yes. Okay. But if there is lot of food that is like really tasty, etc., and if you really want to enjoy everything of it, which is full of ghee, full of sugar, full of fat, all of that is there. Okay. And then of course, simple food that is good for your stomach is also there. You cannot be like, okay, both at the same time. Okay. Either You can enjoy the food, or like, you where every palate of your mouth enjoys, right? Or you eat healthy and you deprive some pleasures to some parts of your mouth. Okay, so you can only choose one, not two. That is the fact. So now, as a result, what is happening is that now it says the Bhashyakara says that when we have raga dvesha, we cannot seek the path of spirituality. Why? Dvesha means what? Anger. Now, when we have anger, that means what? There's a burning sensation in me, right? Okay, with anger, I'm burning with anger. Now, when I'm burning with anger, what is happening? What is happening to my mind? It is running very fast. Now, when I have a fast running mind like that, like an agitated mind, can I concentrate on Brahma Vidya? No. No. I don't have any dveshas, but I only have likes and likes only. Raga, likes. Raga means what? I want something. That means what? I'm thirsting for something. I want to get it. I want to get it. I want to get it. No matter what, I want to get it. I don't know when I'm going to get it. In there again, the mind cannot be calmed. So in both instances, the mind is agitated with lot of rajas. Why is it agitated with a lot of rajas? Because the underlying cause is tamas. Tamas meaning here ajnana. What is the ajnana? I want something, like I don't have something, and by getting that, I'll be happy. That is raga, ajnana, which is resulting in raga. Okay. I have to do something so that I can get rid of anger in me. If not, my anger is not going to leave me. That is again ajnana based on, that is also ajnana, right? So that is also tamas. So when there is so much tamas or so much rajas in our mind, how can we seek the path of spirituality? At that time, usually we go try to enjoy the immediate sense pleasure, which is the path of Preyas. Okay, so that is why one of the key things why all of this is being said is we should, the purpose of this whole Shreyas Preyas discussion is to understand what is the state of our mind and how we should lead and how we should get rid of our raga, dveshas, etc. All of that is being said. So here, yastu dvarashi vimudo hiyate vijjate artha purusharthat paramarthikat prayojananityat pratyavada ityartha. So one who lacks that dura drushti, the duradarshi means far-sightedness. That means that he is able to see into future. Okay, so if I'm going to do this repercussion will be there, and hence this problem will be there. So, and if such a thing is not there, then what happens? They become vimudha. Vimudha means they get deluded. And hiyate, vyujyate, meaning they are going to be deprived of what? Purusharthat. Okay, they are going to, what is the Purushartha? Final Purushartha is moksha. They won't get Purushartha or Paramarthikat. That Prayojanam is not going to be there. So, for who? Kosau ya preya urunita upadate it etat. So that means the one who chooses this prayers, for them, they will not reach moksha. So this is the Shankara Bhashya. So we will pause here now, and then we will take up in the next session. So again, so today we covered the first mantra, right? अन्यच्छ्रेयो अन्यदुदैव प्रेयस्ते उभे नानार्थे पुरुषसिनीतः तयो श्रेयः दानस्य साधु भवति हीयते अर्थाध्य उप्रेयो गृणीते. So that means there are two different goals. One is Shreyas, other is Preyas. They take you to two different goals, and both of them are going to bind. So one who chooses the right one, which is Shreyas, they are going to be successful. But one who chooses Preyas, they are going to fall down. So this is the simplified meaning of this mantra. Any questions before we conclude?
This is also in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, Shreyas and Preyas.
No. The term Nishreyas comes there in chapter 2.
Oh,
So Shreyas and Preyas is a topic in Kathopanishad. Okay, so in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, I think it is in the seventh shloka of chapter 2, there is a shloka. It says, Karpanya dosho upatah svabhavaha puchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yachreyasya nishchitam brujhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. That is a shloka uttered by Arjuna. So yachreyaha meaning what is Shreyas? Okay, so that means Shreyaha that comes here. Okay, so any other question? So let us conclude. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.
Thank you, Andy.